Hello, I'm Leona Dooley, and this is Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme in the kitchen. And in the kitchen this week, we are going to be making some things that are beautiful, and we're going to be preparing a delicious meal for your family. And in fact, we may prepare several. But let's talk about this week. We are officially in February. February is the month of love. Now, of course, it highlights love, but the reality is that we should be using that word love every day with our family, with our friends, and those that we care about. Now, also, we show the love because just to say you love someone, wow, that sounds wonderful, but if they can't feel it, and you aren't doing it, then it's like, okay, just another word. So remember, love is an action word. So we've got to make it happen this month and every day of the year. So in our kitchen, we're going to be loving on our friends and family. We're loving God, and we know that anything and everything else is just gravy. Because if it's not God, family, and our friends, okay, then all right, we'll be respectful, but those are the people we hold very near and dear to us. So let's show them a little love. And I welcome you into the family. Take care. Well, good morning. It's bright and early, excuse me, and because it's so bright and early, I'm clearing the cobwebs out of the throat. Before everyone gets up and starts moving around, we are going to put together this basket. And I don't know if you remember this basket, but this is the basket that I used on top of my refrigerator. And if you look back in my videos, you're going to see where I winterized the top of the refrigerator by fixing this basket. It had trees, it had lots of snowy material inside of it, and it turned out absolutely beautiful. So every time someone went to the refrigerator, and I'm kind of glancing over there at it, but every time someone went to the refrigerator, they saw that beautiful basket, and it reminded them that it was winter. Now, true enough, it's February, and while we're still experiencing a little bit of winter, today is supposed to be 70, so I am geared up to do some things that are more spring-like today. Now, let me get you started. First of all, this basket always, number one, stays on top of the refrigerator. Number two, it always has evergreens inside of it. And what that does, because this basket is going to sit on the side like this on top of my refrigerator so that you can see all the goodies inside of it, I need that background of the evergreen in order to just kind of hide the workings inside of it, and it also helps to hold everything in place. So we're going to start working on it, and every now and then I'm going to bend it forward so you can see what it looks like from the side, so that when, like for instance, the back of the basket is to me at this point. And so we want to be able to look at it in such a way that we'll know exactly what that vignette is going to look like, because not only will it be the basket, and not only will it look like spring, but there are going to be some other things that are going to be up there that are just you're going to look up and go, oh, that looks so cute, and that is spring. So, without further ado, let's get started on our refrigerator arrangement. Now, I've pointed you down so you can see the basket from the top. Now there are some things that this basket needs. And first of all, this is Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme in the kitchen. So of course, it needs some ivy. The excessively longer pieces, this is a little grouping that I got from Hobby Lobby, but this needs for the longer pieces to be on the top so that I can put it down in and onto the refrigerator, and that nothing will hang over into the refrigerator when we open it. So it's going to kind of look backwards from what it would look if we were going to put it on a table. I've got lights here, and later I'm thinking I might want to actually light it. Now here's, I'm looking at this. I just happen to keep a tag on this one. I'm going to take it off because we don't want to see the tags. But this was $12.99 and it was 50% off. So we, you know, those are the deals you always like to have. And okay, I've got that little sticker off. And here's our next batch of ivy. But what that ivy is going to do, it's really going to give us that spring look. And it's going to camouflage a lot of the greenery. Now, because I purposely used the evergreen, and the reason for that is because, after all, evergreens are evergreen always. And so I've put that down in there so we can get the ivy portion ready, because actually the way it's going to sit is going to be like this. So it will give it some height, having those taller pieces toward the top. Now, let me check and make sure you can see what I'm doing. Okay, now, the next thing I want a larger pieces in first. Now, my plan is that other than adding a few blossoms here and there, this arrangement will probably stay together through, at least through June. And so I want to add, I'm going to add a little bit, this is a geranium bush that I found, and I'm going to add that into this arrangement right there. And get it in. And once I get it in, you see how it holds it very well. Then you can just take your fingers and move those pieces where you want them to go. So I'm spreading that geranium apart. I didn't want to cut it because I like the fact that it is bushy, but because it's wired, I can move those geranium pieces all over the bush once we get the other flowers in. Now, I also had lavender. I love lavender. I love the smell of lavender, and we are going to add some lavender bushes into our arrangement. So, let's see, I think I'll start more so toward the corners of the basket. And I've opened the lavender up because there's going to be some more flowers, and you just kind of take your hand and bend those pieces back a little bit and open it up so that it takes up that area. And I'm going to put one of those little geranium pieces right there so that he becomes a part of that look, and the lavender is going to fill in. And you're going to see how the colors are just going to come together. Now here's another one. I'm going to bring it this way, and this time I'm going to place it right in there, and you see that little geranium piece is right there in the center. Now I'm checking every now and then just to make sure that you've got a good view. Now I have one more piece of lavender, and this piece of lavender is going to go right here. Now, doesn't that look beautiful? Look at those colors. But guess what? We are not finished. We have more to go. So that was 4 bushes, and these little lavender bushes came from Walmart. So I had 2 bushes of boxwood. And I probably use boxwood in some form with every arrangement just because I like it. And what I want to do is not only camouflage the evergreens that are in there, but I also, because the boxwood fills, but the boxwood also won't hang so that it ends up where the refrigerator portion is, I'm going to take this boxwood and I'm going to sneak some pieces of it over on the other side of the basket, under that handle, and I'm going to let it slide right in. And what that's doing, and you don't have to push it too far down in, because when it lays, you want to be able to see your boxwood in there. So I'm going to come around toward you, and I'm going to take this piece. Like I said, I'm going to take a portion of it. I'm working it in. It's right there. I'm going to take some of those pieces and slide them over so that they're going to kind of surround the handle of our basket. And I'm going to put that in, and then you can just work with the pieces. You know, they're wired, so they're going to just come right in there. So there we go. We've taken care of that. So while you're doing that, get some of that lavender, pull it so that it's intermingled with the boxwood and the geranium. So we've added layers of color. Now, being that it's spring, but you know, I thought, hey, we need buds, lots of little buds. And I'm starting with some peony buds. And I want a peony bud toward the top, because what's coming towards you is the top. And then I'm making a triangle. I'm going to put these little peony buds right in there. And they're going to stay. There's our triangle. Now, I also had some, oh goodness, I can't think of what the names of them are. These are. And I've taken the tag off. So, sorry, can't think of what they are at this moment, but it'll come to me in just a little while. Now I have 5 of these. So I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put one here. Want it in there. I'm going to put one here. We're working toward the corners, and we kind of want to work them so that they're fairly, we have some up, we have some down, and there we go. And you notice we got nice little clustered groupings that are starting to take place. Now, in addition to the color, I like roses, and I have rosebuds and roses, and I want some of those rosebuds to just peek right out, and they're going to be so cute. So I'm going to put 1, 2. Notice I'm not eliminating the leaves, because when they're growing in nature, they have leaves. So I'm adding them to the little cluster of flowers. And because we have the greenery, see how they're staying in place? Just kind of have to work with it, get it where you want it. If it goes too far down, you pull it back out. And this one, I think I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to lay it down so I can see it. I think I'm going to want one right about here. Now I do believe that I have one more. So hold on one second. All right, now as I was looking, I found one more of these, and I think I'm going to add it right here, if that will stay right there in place. I did find 2 more roses, little rosebuds, and I think I'm going to do a little clipping. I don't normally, but I am, because they are so long. So I'm going to take off probably about 6 inches off of this, maybe, well, let's say 5 inches off of this rosebud. And yes, this is a Walmart find. And we want those rosebuds. We're going to work them right in there so that they come in. They're going to be a part of those little groupings. I have one more. Take some of that off. Okay. And I've got one here. But you know, rosebuds are I love them because I like those ever blooming, and they just kind of keep going and going. And guess what? I want one open peony in this arrangement, and I want it very visible. So I'm going to have to be strategic about where I place it, because I'm going to need to look at it from the side. So I'm going to lay this down, and I'm actually going to turn it around so you can see what it will look like on its side. Now, when I lay it down, let's see if I can pull you back just a little bit. I'm going to move you so you can see. That's what it's going to look like when you're looking at it from the refrigerator. Now, I want one, just one, large peony. And so I'm trying to figure out where will be the best spot. And, you know, looking at it from the side, trying to see if at the top is the best place, whether I want it more toward the bottom. I'm not sure where I want that. I may take the bud out and move the bud and put the larger one right there. I think that's what I'll do. And I'm going to fold the end of this so it gives it a little more, because it's heavier, I want it to stay in place, but I want you to see it when it's on its side. So I want to make sure that you can see, and we're going to place, we're going to find a spot for that bud. Here's that rose. He's pretty long, kind of hanging over there. That's okay. He looks natural. And I think I'm going to put the little bud right there in the basket. Let me look at this one. I think he needs a little more trimming. Or maybe I'll just fold him. So he'll stay in place. I'll fold the end. And this one, I'm going to kind of lean it so that it will go. And put it right in there. Nope, let's leave it straight. That's not working. I'll work that in. So, there we go. Our rose is right there. So let's see what that looks like from your viewpoint. Because the viewpoint you're looking at right now is going to be the viewpoint that everyone is going to see. So let's bring you down a little. There we go. So you can see what this basket is going to look like. So that's what it's going to look like on the refrigerator. Now once we place that on the refrigerator, remember I told you that I wanted some of these pieces to be a little wild, and you can work with them and bend them and make them do what you want them to do. And you can see some of them have already done a lot of falling and draping and interlocking, because that's what ivy does. Ivy just works its way throughout its surface. And by the time we have finished, this basket hides all of its interworkings. Now, I just happen to have some lights, and I'm thinking I may want to use those lights. So let's see. I'm going to turn them on. You know, just because it's not Christmas doesn't mean that you don't want things to light up and delight, and especially at night. You want things to be very visible. Now I'm not going to put the little, I'm going to set it so that it will automatically come on, but I do want to put the box where I can get to it easily. And these little lights, when you buy them, please be very careful with them. For me, I only want those that have at least 50 lights to them. The little ones are nice, but you end up actually purchasing probably 2 to do an arrangement this size. Now, I'm going to stand this up so that it's easier for me to put the lights in. And then I'll turn it back so that you can see it. Okay? So let me make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Open it up. I've got a lot of little projects going on here. There we go. Now, so we've got this so you can see it. And we are going to intermingle these lights all throughout our flowers. And I want them intermingled in such a way that they won't fall. The lights won't fall and the flowers won't fall, and you can just see like a little drop of sunshine is coming through your basket. So you might say we're adding sunshine to a spring day. These in, putting those in, and I'm going to leave this one this side because this is going to be the side where I'm actually going to take a little twist tie and put it, attach the light box so that it won't fall. And let me turn the lights down so you can see. Be able to see the lights in the basket. There's our peony that's popped at the top, and we are ready to place this on the refrigerator. And once we get it placed on the refrigerator, we're going to work on all of those little things that are going to go with it. For winter, we had lots of trees and little signs that talked about the cold and the burr and the whatever to go along with it. This time, we're going to have things that reminisce spring. So, I'll bring you back. Okay, I wanted you to see where this is going to sit. It's actually going to sit here on top of the refrigerator. Now, I can't permanently put it in place because I don't know if you can see in the background, but the big guy is still painting in the kitchen. So because of that, there's still some work that has to be done. And so I'm going to just give you an idea of what this is going to look like. Hopefully, by the end of the week, it will be finished. Now, I have a thrifted bunny that I got for $3. Let me see if I can show him to you. His little tag is on there, and I'm not sure that you can see that $3 or not, but I got him for $3, and he has this cute little bell on him that I just think is adorable. So we're going to probably, I have 2 bunnies actually that I'm looking at. One is more metallic, and in fact is very metallic. And I don't know if he'll show up better, or let's try them. Here's one. Here's the metallic bunny, so I can sit him down flat, and he may not be in that exact place. And on the other side, I'm going to put the little white bunny, and you can decide. Now you'll notice that our little white bunny has a little boo-boo. He has a boo-boo on his foot, but that's okay, because remember, we're looking at this from down on the floor. And I'm thinking the little white bunny is going to show up much better, maybe, than the metallic. Now, I actually have two of the metallics, and I have other white bunnies, but they're not quite that large. But I don't think this one's going to work. But what I do have is my lantern that's going to go up there. So hold. Now, I have the lantern in place, and I can push the basket back. It's got a few inches yet to go that I could take it back. But what I like is that the vines of the ivy are cascading over the sides of the refrigerator. We've got plants that are on top of a swag that's on top of the lantern, and I'm going to lower the lights and turn all of this on so you can see it. Now at night, that's what it's going to look like. You can see the flowers, you can see the candlelight of the lantern, you can see those colors, how they'll just work in. That's the top of our refrigerator. And the bunny just kind of goes into the background until morning. So I'm very pleased with this arrangement, and I think I'm going to enjoy having it right here in the kitchen. So I hope that you're going to have a wonderful time in your kitchen this week. I hope that you're going to do fun things, whether it's cooking, whether it's decorating, or whether it's just sitting down spending time with your loved ones. I have certainly enjoyed sharing and being with you. So I hope that if you have not subscribed, that you will. And please tap that notification bell so that every time I upload, you'll be a part of the notifications that go out. So without further ado, blessings to you, and have a wonderful time in your kitchen. See you later.